Union Leipzig have set out to take down Red Bull and become the best team in Germany, and after promotion to the second division last season, we are well on our way. But now, as the lowest rated team in the Bundesliga 2, we're looking to have a tough season ahead. Can we continue our path to the top, or is this project gonna fall apart in the face of relegation? So Union Leipzig have a long way to go, but we don't want to be a big spending corporation like Red Bull. The owners made it clear from day one, our mission is to build the best academy in the world, and that's coming true as Union Leipzig announced we've officially finished building our world-class youth facilities. Now we've already got some solid players, specifically our goalkeeper Samuel Sauer, who our scout Stefan Kraus insists can be a world-class player. But now that the facilities are finished, we're gonna be able to bring in even better players. So we send our scouts back out, including Kraus, to search around the country and find the best of the best. Our owner will not stop until we truly have the best academy in the entire country. But it's gonna take a while for the youth to be ready, and our existing team doesn't look all that strong. Truth is, we got promoted faster than we expected, and now the reality is we're probably gonna be fighting relegation this season. And sure enough, we're given a reality check in our first match here in the German Cup. We had a defense that struggled last season, and this is no different. It's a defeat and a reminder that we're not going to be able to wait years for the academy kids to mature. We need help right now. So the manager goes to the owner and begs with him, please give me some signings. This team needs improvement. And thankfully, the owner knows he's right. He's gonna back the manager and bring in some big players. We don't have a ton of money to spend considering how much has been invested in the youth academy, but the owner makes good on his promise, spending a club record $1.2 million to bring in a new goalkeeper, Kai Petermann. That's been the weakest point in our team since our initial goalkeeper, Stefan Kraus, retired back in season 1, plus a new backup right back, Sascha Laurent. It's actually our biggest spending window yet, and hopefully this is what we needed. Now our only goal this season is simply to avoid relegation, stay in this division, and build up our youth academy. The owner is convinced this is how we're going to become a top team, but we all know it's going to take years to pay off. These kids actually have to mature. And in the meantime, we're left with the squad that the manager handcrafted last season. But the most exciting of them all is the young Julian Busch. More than anyone else, this is the player the manager wants to build around. But now we have a new challenge. Can Busch and the rest of these players actually take the jump up to this new division? Well, it's clear the competition's a lot higher as we find ourselves under pressure immediately, but it's the new signing Petermann who comes out as a star in this first game, making several crucial saves to keep us in the match. But the player to really talk about here is Julian Busch as he gets himself on the score sheet, putting in our first of the season. The manager spent all last year working on his attitude, and it looks to have paid off as he is finally maturing into a top player. But then, disaster strikes as Julian Busch shows he's still a work in progress with a reckless red card challenge that sees him sent off. It's a win for Union Leipzig, but it's tainted by the fact that we're now going to be without our best player. And with Busch out of the team, our lack of depth becomes clear. Our next choice striker is academy graduate Cedric Makoko, who despite his potential was only a bench player in the third division last year. And now that he's being asked to start games, it's just way too much pressure on his shoulders. Our young player looks completely out of his element. This is not the way to develop youth, and the poor kid's confidence plummets. We lose 2 in a row, and despite a win on opening day, Union Leipzig look lost without Julian Busch up top. Well, it's clear we're having growing pains because not only do our academy kids need more time to develop, even the graduates that are already in our first team still are not yet ready to compete. Cedric Makoko is still a rough talent, and even the best player in our team, Julian Busch, has shown he needs more time to mature. We have a young and unproven team, and this season could be tough for us. So again, the manager asks the owner, please, we need more depth. We just saw what happens when Busch is out. We at least need to sign a third choice striker. But the trouble is we've dumped so much money into the academy, and our previous transfers, there's nothing left. So the manager's put in another tough situation. If we want a new striker, we have to choose which players to sell to raise the money. And now we're left waiting for some of these sales to go through before we can make any signings of our own. Union Leipzig are again left in a waiting game. But in the meantime, Union again rise above expectations as goalkeeper Petermann puts in another top display. What a signing he's been. It looks like we may have our replacement for Stefan Kraus. And then of course, it's the player who's always in headlines for us, Julian Busch, who shines again, scoring on his return from that red card. Hopefully he learned his lesson because it's becoming clear we really do need him in the team. And our striker continues his red-hot run of form, scoring yet again to see us through to another 1-0 victory. What a start to the season we're having. And it's Julian Busch at the center of everything, scoring a brace in the next game. It's absolutely unbelievable the level this guy's rising to this season. But the best part of Union Leipzig this season is actually our defense, as the goalkeepers putting on incredible performances. 3 wins in a row, and suddenly all the worries that Union Leipzig were having about the start of this season are starting to fade away. Now it's early days, but Union Leipzig are all the way up in 3rd place. We got a lot of season left to go, but if we keep this up, surely we'll be able to avoid relegation. But the warning signs are there. We're incredibly reliant on Julian Busch because he's the only player to have scored yet this season. If we somehow lose a hold of him, this team's gonna be in huge trouble. Well, it's deadline day now, and we're gonna have to rush to try to get somebody in. But at the very last moments here, we do manage to offload some of our players, making a good bit from the sales of Obi and Stein. And finally, that frees us up to bring in a striker. It's another big deal for Union Leipzig, dropping $850,000 on Morten Adamson. But finally now, we have another option up top. Adamson's a big target man, someone to get goals when we're chasing games. So although he's gonna start on the bench, expect him to play a big role this season. But the deadline day madness continues as we get some offers in for some of our young players. Cedric Makoko, our struggling striker, is given an offer to leave, but we don't want a sale. We'd rather loan him out, and we can't manage to work anything out. So now our poor graduate's gonna have to stay and be 4th choice this season. But even crazier than that, we get a big offer for a player still in our academy, Alexander Haas. This is something the ownership didn't even consider. The fact that players in our academy are not necessarily guaranteed to stay, and if we want to make them part of our future, we're gonna have to prioritize that. So the owner sits down with the manager and demands a new goal for this season to promote at least 3 of the players from our academy to the first team. It looks like we're gonna be safe from relegation this season, so now the focus needs to be on keeping the youth we want to build around for the future. The manager's not exactly happy about it, but he doesn't have a choice. But now who do we call up? We have the goalkeeper, Samuel Sauer, but with our existing goalkeeper doing so well, I think we should just let him develop for another season in the academy. So instead, we're gonna call up Alexander Haas, who has clearly had interest for him, and Jonah Walther, a towering center back. We'll need to promote 1 more player later in the season, but for now, we actually have a fair amount of academy graduates, but the big question's gonna be, which of them are actually gonna be able to fulfill their potential and make an impact in the first team? Well, we've seen Makoko struggle this season, but the one youth player that they have to look up to is Vincent Sommer, who's been a nailed-on starter since his debut in Season 1. He's probably our most promising graduate so far. And overall, it's the usual suspects who are shining here for Union Leipzig. The manager did a great job building the squad last season, and players like Busch and the captain Simon Wolf are leading the team through an incredible run of games. We may have a new striker and new academy graduates, but who needs them when Union Leipzig are doing so well in the league right now? The team we built last season is actually looking way better than people were expecting. And the piece that ties this all together has been the new goalkeeper, Peterman. We have the best defense in the league this season, all thanks to him. We're 10 games into the season now, and we're still in 3rd place. This actually might not be a fluke. And surprisingly, it's the same group of players from last season that are performing. The new signings like Adamson and the youth graduates haven't even played a role yet. Is it actually going to be this easy for us? Do we have the team that can take us all the way to the Bundesliga? Well, we still do have problems because we failed to score in the next match, and not even Peterman in his great form can make sure we keep a clean sheet every week. And in the next match, it gets even worse. A 3-0 hammering is the worst we've seen all season. It looks like it's finally time for the manager to freshen things up a bit. This is why we spent big on a 3rd choice striker. Adamson is gonna get his chance to shine. And we'll regret not playing him earlier because a hat trick from the new signing is quite a way to make a debut. Union Leipzig are right back on track, far outperforming expectations this season. We have what we've been missing all along, a no-nonsense target man who can just score goals. The manager spent all of last season carefully crafting a team, and it's the same players here who are stepping up. Felix Kruger is a beast in midfield, starting to add goals to his game on top of just being a destroyer. And then we have the captain, Simon Wolf, who's finally adjusting to life here in the 2nd division, becoming an increasingly important player. We've got a good goalkeeper, the best defense in the league, and a star player with Julian Busch continuing to have the season of a lifetime, Union Leipzig are a legitimately good side, and it's simply incredible. We're sitting in second place. Could we actually go for promotion this season? Well, we're in January now, and there's only one small problem. For all the money we put in the academy, we have yet to find any homegrown stars. Vincent Sommer's the only one actually in our starting 11, and with striker Moukoko now 13 appearances without a goal or assist, he was our most promising player that's fizzling out fast, and the new graduates like Alexander Haas and Jonah Walther have yet to play any real role in the team. It's clear we're probably years away from seeing any of them develop into top players, but the potential is there, and again, it's Alexander Haas drawing attention from other clubs as a Bundesliga side offer a deal trying to take away our youth star. The owner is again concerned. He does not want to lose the stars that we spent so much money to bring in, and the club makes a bold decision to offer an improved contract to Alexander Haas, promising him minutes in the team. The manager is once again put in a difficult situation to try to find ways to win while still honoring the long-term goals of the club. Can the manager keep working his miracles on the pitch? Well, funny enough, Haas is going to get his chance right away because an injury to Vincent Sommer means the manager's going to go ahead and try out our new academy graduate as a midfielder. It's unconventional, but we've seen the manager play players out of position before. But is it going to work again? Well, sure enough, Alexander Haas looks pretty good. There's a reason teams were interested in him. And with the game on the line, Haas comes up with an assist. Our new graduate helps see us through to a win. And maybe after all, we can develop these youth players and still succeed. Everything's been going so well for Union Leipzig this season. Who would have believed this at the start of the year? And youth continues to get a chance. As Lucas Schultz is out injured, the manager goes ahead and gives Jonah Walther, our new call-up, the spot instead, also putting Alexander Haas on the wing. And both of our young players fit in okay, but we're seeing what we want to out of teenagers at the moment. The real star of the show, though, is Julian Busch, who again puts in a top-class display, and we end with a beautiful team goal that symbolizes what a force Dennis Binder has built this team into. And we keep going against the first-place team in the league. We hold a clean sheet thanks to some heroics from the newly called-up Jonah Walther at our back line. And suddenly, Union Leipzig find ourselves in second place. 22 games into this season, I mean, we're very much on track to get promoted if this carries on. But now it's a test of our depth as we have another injury, this time to our striker, Morten Adamson. He's going to be out for the next month. We're going to have to rely on some of our rotational players instead. Nico Fofana is going to start. Hopefully he'll pick up where he left off. But the real story here is that Cedric Moukoko is going to be on the bench. He's had, by all means, a very poor season. Can this be a redemption moment for him? Well, Moukoko's not even going to get a chance because it's our number 9, Nico Fofana, who comes back into this team with a bang. 2 goals in 3 games is a reminder to never rule our striker out of this team. He might be back in contention for a starting spot. 7 games to go and suddenly every single point's gonna count. We might be going for a double promotion here. But now it's the biggest blow of our season as Julian Busch, the team's talisman, is gonna also be out for a month. We're now down 2 strikers and far and away our best player. So we're gonna have to reach into the academy yet again this season and call up our 3rd graduate. This time it's Konstantin Schuster, a winger who is gonna be depth in case anyone else, God forbid, gets injured. But now we're out of options. Moukoko's not just gonna get a chance, we're actually relying on him. We only have 2 fit strikers in the squad, and if he ever wants to make his place in this Union Leipzig team, this has to be the moment for our academy graduate. But the truth is, he's up against it. We're not the same team without Busch, and Moukoko just looks lost out there. He's not being set up for success. He's low on confidence, and we settle for a draw. And another disappointing display from Moukoko in the next match shows us for sure this guy's just not ready to be starting games for us. And unfortunately, not every young player is going to be able to come into the team and just hit the ground running. A defeat for Union Leipzig sees our form continue to drop. We're missing Busch, and unfortunately, the youth players aren't ready to carry the team through these challenging games. But in the next match, the return of Adamson does give us some hope as we finally score. Maybe this is the moment we start turning it around. But unfortunately, conceding a late goal sees us yet again drop points. Union Leipzig are starting to slip up big time. In the blink of an eye, we've fallen down to 5th place, and with 4 games left in the season, we gotta snap back into it fast. Promotion is still possible, but we have to finish strong. And now with Julian Busch back from injury, is it gonna be too late for the club, or can Union Leipzig rally with only a couple games left? Well, now that Julian Busch is back, the team looks energized, and our star striker connects well with Nico Fofana, reminding us why these two were such a good duo last season. And Fofana continues his resurgence, scoring the only goal of the game and unbelievably seeing us through to yet another 1-0 win. That's been the story of our season. 3 games left and every point counts. This time it's the captain who leads the charge, converting from the spot to give Union Leipzig the lead. We're full of belief we can really do this. But then a goal in the dying minutes sees us drop valuable points. This is the problem with the narrow wins we've been having. A single goal changes everything. That draw hurts. And in the next game, down a goal, it's not looking great for Union Leipzig. Busch and Fofana do connect to give us hope, but when we turn to the bench, it's full of young players right now who, despite being promising, are not at the level that they can come off the bench and make an impact in these big matches. So with 1 game left in the season, it's all to play for. We're in 4th place, only 1 point off of 2nd though. 3 teams are gonna fight for those top 2 spots on the final day of the season. Even with a win, we could get anything from automatic promotion to a playoff chance or even come away empty-handed. Are Union Leipzig Bundesliga bound this season? Or are we gonna fall short on the final day? Everything we've built comes down to this. Well, the game starts bright. Union Leipzig put on our usual passing plays and come dangerously close to scoring. We have such a beautiful system that the manager has instilled in this team over the last couple years, and the system generates a lot of opportunity. But as the game goes on, despite so many clear-cut chances, Union Leipzig cannot find the back of the net. Ugh, is this just not gonna be our night? Well, maybe the youth players aren't ready to help us just yet, but we do have one player available to make the difference. Morten Adamson, our new striker, is brought onto the pitch. We're going all out to try to win this. And now we have all of our attacking players on the pitch. It's a little risky defensively, but we have to go for it. Nothing less than a win would do. But Union Leipzig are patient in possession. It's everything that the manager has built this team towards. We're dominating the ball, creating chances. We've been the better team. Now we just need the goal as Fofana plays it through. It's Morten Adamson who finds the back of the net. It's a win for Union Leipzig, and that just may be the goal that takes us up to the Bundesliga. We did our part by getting that win, but now it's gonna come down to chance. We have to hope the teams above us dropped points. Are we gonna go up this season, or is it gonna end in heartbreak? Unfortunately, it's a devastating end to our season. Wins in the other matches mean we finish 4th. We came so close this season, but it's gonna be another year in the 2nd division after all. However, there's no denying we're building something special here. We have a breakout star in Julian Busch and strikers like Adamson and Fofana doing well, plus the whole crop of academy players who might start breaking into the first team next season. There's so much to get excited about, but it gets even better because our former captain turned youth scout Stefan Kraus spent the year hand-selecting some of the best talents all across Germany, and he insists that the players we now have in our academy are not only better than what we've had, but are genuinely good enough to be future national team level players. So are we finally going to see some of these academy stars break into the team next season? Or is Union Leipzig already set up for a promotion push without them? All that and more next season when Union Leipzig go again on our path to the very top. And a huge thank you to all my channel members who help make this content possible. And if you're enjoying this series, please consider subscribing as a member on this channel as well. You'll get perks like early access to videos, but more important, your support is what I need on my goal to do YouTube full time and make more quality content like this. Thank you so much for watching either way though, and I'll see you back here for the next video.